recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My comments has something to do with the question of the Honorable Congressman Akop kanina about striking a balance between regulation and the freedom of speech. And also with the question of Congresswoman Castro about what if the government is the one purveying fake news. And with the issue of Congresswoman Roman about civil society being arbitrator between two opposing parties. In case one says it's fake news, the other says it's not. My issue is about elections. And I have always stood firm that our elections have been cheated all along. For 15 years, I have fought and have never been charged by the COMELEC or by Smartmatic. So here I am, as free as the bird, speaking before all of you. Now, towards the elections, the COMELEC filed a complaint against me, and my account on Facebook was suspended for 2 months before the elections and 4 months after the elections. I fought hard. I wrote to Facebook in the Philippines and Singapore, and they forwarded it to Meta platforms in California and referred it to their counsels, White and Case. So nagsasagutan po kami ng mga abogado ng Facebook. And they required me to prove that election fraud is not fake news. And I was able to prove, and they restored me last March 23. Now, ang ibig kong sabihin, sirs, your honors, is that you have to take into account na wala pong problema kung ang issue are outright exceptions to the protection of the Constitution on freedom of speech, yung trafficking of humans, trafficking of drugs, pornography, yung mga similar issues like that. We have every right to control them. But what about political issues that is subject to interpretation whether it is true or not? My suggestion is that while we craft the law, we have to put there a mechanism by which we can determine if this is fake news or not. Wherein the protagonist, yung nagsasabing fake news to, at yung hindi, they will be able to sort out in a summary proceeding outside of the court. So I believe the civil society can probably do that, not the government agencies. That's my suggestion, Your Honor.
And that's the reason why Attorney Glenn Chong, a while ago, we were discussing that the yung collaboration natin with the government. But this collaboration will not be handled directly by the government. It will be the private sector. This group of different civil society will handle such issue like the political landscape, no? Kasi mahirap talaga pag political, iba-iba yung ano yan, And that's the reason why kanina I suggested with Secretary Ruiz to lead, no? This fight, no? Kahit na siya po ay nasa government. Basta andito lamang po yung ating private sector na sila po yung well, katulad ng CICP, meron na silang mga members, and if we will be catering the other political content creator to be a part of it, why not? After all, private naman kayo. But of course, with the guidance of the government as well, sabi ko nga, kalimutan na natin yung moving forward na tayo. So, I think we can reach something with this.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So, now we'll be proceeding sa, kung wala na pong questions sa ating mga civil society group.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Isang last question and comment to ASEC Renato Paraiso of the DICT. First of all, I would like to commend you for respecting the rule of law and by humbly admitting that it does take time for you to fact check, possibly because of the volume and because you have to observe due process. Due process and the rule of law is something that we cannot overlook or bypass. This is important. Thank you also for recognizing the legal vacuum that there is and the need for us to legislate something. As a nation that believes in the rule of law, yes, we do need to follow whatever existing law there is, and it would be dangerous to actually go out of that framework just in order to achieve a certain end. As we said, the end does not justify the means. So from the point of view of Congress, I would like to assure you, maybe at this point, we are only like 4 days before the 19th Congress ends. And my having filed the bill may be moot and academic, but nevertheless, I'm doing it to signify our determination to address this legal vacuum. And thank you for throwing your support behind my bill with regards to regulating social media platforms. Mr. Chair.
Okay, you want to answer back?
Yeah, we thank the Representative Geraldine Roman, and rest assured, Mr. Chair and all the members of Congress, that the ICT, CICC, the NPC, and NTC will be active participants in the conversation and helping in hopefully enacting this particular piece of legislation to address this particular concern. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, maraming salamat. So we be proceeding sa next item natin, yung kay Commodore Ariela. Commodore, kasi wala kasi ako sa mga last hearings no, na we have conducted, no, and napanood ko lang briefly yung iba. So basically yung mga relevance ng testimony mo lies on the your personal experience with the victims ng mga Chinese disinformation campaigns, and in relation to the Western Philippine Western Philippine Sea.
So, 3 years, ang bilis ng panahon di ba? Nung una kasi, if you remember, nung panahon po ni Pangulong Duterte, yung pong build, I happened to defend the budget of the DOTR during that time. Kaya po nung nasil po yung NSCR and the Metro Manila Subway with Japan, lagi po ako nakasama doon, and I was a witness. Na-excite po ako kasi ito na yung di ba? At least mangyayari na. On the hindsight, 1998 pa, panahon pa ng President Erap, North Rail, South Rail, we lost already almost 30 years. Diba? So, na-excite ako doon. And then, nung pagpasok po ni President Bongbong Marcos, yung build, gagawin build better more, mas lalo ako na-excite. Mas dadamihan pa at magko-concentrate siya infra. Anong nangyari? Nabinbin itong yung South Long Haul and Mindanao Railway. Dapat ito, Mr. President, ako, kaibigan po. I want you to succeed because his success will be our success. Sana po, ito yung hanapan ng solusyon. Because pang long term po tayo I'm looking at what will be good for the future. Hindi lang, maraming sabi, kailangan natin trabaho at hanap buhay. I think ito po talaga ang investment natin for jobs and opportunities.
So, sir, ano yung expectation mo under the leadership of Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon? Considering nakakausap mo siya, lahat ba itong mga frustration mo na nadidelay ng mga projects, may commitment na
well, I'm optimistic with Secretary Vince Dizon. Actually, nag-meet na kami nung a few weeks before, after he assumed office, kasi since ako po ang malamang na mag-defend ng DOTR budget dahil medyo kabisado na rin natin yan, yun lang ipakiusap ko sa kanya na sana yung pang mga infrastructure projects na put on hold, dapat i-pursue. And he agrees. And I think he's bagay na si Sec Vince Dizon for the job kasi marami tayong hahabulin Sabi ko nga, kung lahat ng government official tulad niya na yung hyper, Energizer Bunny nga, Totoy Bibo, lahat na. Pero yan ang kailangan natin And I'm in constant communication with him in the improvement of infrastructure. Hindi lang po yung railways, even the improvement of the airports, seaports. Nag-uusap na kami kung ano yung kinakailangan. May mga ina-identify ako. Kasi advantage ko, layas ako di ba? Because of my passion for riding, napupuntahan ko halos lahat. For example, yung mga airports, yung Mati airports for the eastern side of Mindanao, kasi malayo yan sa sa Davao, pero Davao Oriental, Compostela, Davao de Oro, Caraga region will benefit. Ang ganda rin ng lugar na yon, maraming tourism areas and agricultural centers, but it's about 3-4 hours away from Davao City. So maganda ma-improve natin yung Mati Airport. Nilagyan natin ng funds yan last year. Daet Airport also, Naga Airport, para naman ano na siya, maging hindi na naka-cancel flight. So we are talking already on different infrastructure needs that we can fund to improve and help stimulate economic growth. Pinagtutok pabor talaga sa dahil we have to be realistic about it, that impeachment is politically charged, no? It's both legal and more political. Dalawa po yan. Lahat naman po ng impeachment process is really politically charged. And my worry at the time, alam niyo naman, I shared my frustrations na naiiwan na po tayo na ASEAN neighbors natin, ang dami nating problema, no? Hindi lang transport, hindi lang to railway, hindi lang to airport, may energy pa tayo na dapat tignan, power plants that would need to be online, agriculture, ang dami nating problemang kinakailangan na ayusin. And isa sa frustration ko, ang aga ng bangayan, no, sa administrasyon na ito, 1.5 years, 2 years, nagsimula na ang bangayan. Nanghinayang ako doon sa momentum, no, with the biggest mandates ever received by both the President, the Vice President. We were off to a good start. Ang ganda ng goodwill. Kaya lang napaaga yung bangayan na ito, humantong na nga po tayo sa magkakaroon na ng impeachment. Kaya po ako hindi pabor that time na sinabi ko kasi nga, ang dami nating pressing problems. Ang dami nating kailangan habulin. But in case, ito na, talaga namang itutuloy naman itong impeachment, whether we like it or not. As I mentioned, we are duty bound. Sana matapos agad. So we can, whatever the decision is, whatever the verdict is, I hope we can go back to our normalcy as soon as possible. Mahaba-haba at marami-rami tayong hahabulin. Ang worry ko rito, yung sabi ko nga, Vietnam is already tawag nito is already leaving us, nakalamang na sila no, they're doing all the right things. Habang tayo nakastagnate. No? Meron akong figures nakalimutan ko lang pero talaga yung FDIs nila, we are getting just probably half or even less. So ito po yung concern ko. Kaya sana kung sakali man magkaroon ng impeachment matapos ito sa lalo madaling panahon, we can wrap up as soon as possible para po we can go back and go back to our businesses and of course yung po mga pressing problems, challenges ay that we could already give attention to.
Okay, sige.
What's your Sen, opinion dun sa seemingly na nadidelay yung pag-convene ninyo?
Well, I'm not defending the leadership or the Senate, no. Unang-una, pinasa ng House of Representatives yan. Kailan ba nila pinasa yan? Last day. 5 o'clock. We adjourned at 7. Di ba? 5 o'clock, talagang last minute din. They had all the time since December. Sana pinasa nila kaagad so that we would have the time. So hindi lang, wag naman sana, not defending the Senate, but I'm just stating the facts na sana, kung pinasa nila mas maaga, baka mas maaga rin na simulan.
Pero sir, may mga nagsasabi na dahil dun sa patuloy na pagkakadelay ng pagsisimula ng impeachment process, dun sa impeachment case laban kay BP Sara, parang ang on trial ngayon, yung Senado, hindi na si BP Sara. Parang, dahil di ba ang daming batikos, ang daming mga iba't ibang opinion,
well,
parang kayo nang nalilitis, kayo na...
Hintayin na lang po natin. One thing is for sure, we are duty bound, as I mentioned, to go through it. No? So, matutuloy yan. Hindi naman, I don't think there's an attempt to derail or to stop.
Pero sir, sa consultation nyo sa inyong mga legal counsel, naniniwala ba sila na pwedeng tumalon, mag-crossover sa 20th Congress kapag nasimulan sa 19th itong...
Well, that will be a legal question. Di po ako abogado, but yan ang pagdidebatihan. Again, it might be that the 20th Congress already will be the one to decide whether to go through it or not. So, parang nandun na rin yun. Pwedeng, magsusumpa na kami ngayon, 'di ba? Bago siguro as impeachment court, but it will go through magko-crossover na yan. So it's still again the plenary will always be supreme. Kung ano pong maging desisyon ng Kongreso, ng 20th Congress, then that will be followed.
Sir, dun sa umiikot, before RG, dun sa umiikot ho na resolution seeking Senate parang de facto dismissal noong impeachment case. Yung po ba nabasa ninyo? At ano yung aral ba na inyong legal counsel ko anong
Nabasa ko lang yan sa news, sa social media. So hindi pa ako nakakuha. Hindi ko pa nakuha physically.
Hindi kayo binigyan pa ng copy,
Hindi
sir?
pa.
Sabi ni Senator Bato, binibigyan yata yung mga interesado lang dun sa resolution. RG.
Sir, kasi sabi niyo po, it will probably be the 20th Congress na mag-handle na dun sa trial. But you are one of the 17 senators from the 19th Congress who will serve in the 20th Congress. So it's a question that inevitably you will have to decide on. So ano po ba ang, sa tingin niyo, pwede niyo bang i-handle yan as 20th Congress?
I think whether like it or not, it will be the next Congress already, no? That will already serve as senator judges, diba? So whatever, again, as I mentioned, whatever plenary will always be supreme. Kung ano pong mapag-usapan, collegial body kami. Kung ano ang opinion ko ay whether I'm for it or not, gusto ko ba? We just have to follow what the body would decide on.
So tuloy yung preparation nyo, sir? Dahil nandun yung possibility na magtuloy-tuloy.
Yun naman ang nasa Constitution. Again, as I mentioned, palagi ko, nagsalta na ako doon. We are duty bound. No? That's our responsibility.
Okay, Amor.
Sen, but what are your thoughts so far doon sa resolution? Sabi niyo po kanina, you don't think there is an attempt to delay or to stop the impeachment proceedings. Pero yung resolution po na umiikot is for the de facto dismissal of the
we are in
impeachment case.
democracy. Iba-iba tayo ng posisyon. No? Kaya nga democracy tayo eh. So, lahat yan, we have to engage in debates, discussions to be able to come up with the best solution, no? So ano lang yan, it's one nanggaling yan sa isang legislator, then isang group, then we will discuss on it, no? Hindi naman ibig sabihin may lumabas yung ganyan ang lahat.
Kayo po, Sen, are you inclined to
I cannot
support or
probably
not?
I cannot speak anymore on impeachment because actually, hindi na ako dapat magsalita dyan because we will be serving as senator judges. Ano na nga kami, may instruction na kung pwedeng hindi na kami magsalita about it. But I think I have already given my position that we have to go through it. No? Ano lang, kasi kami will be serving as senator judges in the event that it pushes through. So, siguro na, para lang mawala yung na meron kaming bias, meron kaming inclination. So, whether, for example, I'm in favor of pushing through with the impeachment because sabi ko nga, duty-bound kami, hindi maibig sabihin for conviction na ako. Diba? And that will give the accused also the chance to clear his or her name. Diba? And narinig ko rin si BP Sara, gusto na nga niya para malinis yung mabigay niya ebidensya. So, ayun. So, it doesn't mean that kung pabor ka na matuloy yan, ay for conviction ka na or non-conviction.
Sir, hindi sabi nga ni Senator Coco Pimentel, the mere fact na na-impeach si BP Sara sa Kamara, parang karapatan daw ng taong bayan na malaman ano ba yung mga ebidensya mayroon yung mga kongresista na nag-impeach sa kanya, and at the same time, mabigyan ng chance si BP Sara na sagutin yung mga kaso laban sa kanya.
Well, yun naman talagang nun. I think it's how the impeachment is designed so that the impeached can be given the chance also to air his or her side. So,
pero sir, ito bang pagkaka-delay ng pagsisimula ng impeachment process sa Senate, may connection ba ito sa Senate leadership?
Wala naman siguro. I don't think there's any connection with that. Masyado marami ng issues, marami ng angulo I don't think that's connected at all.
So, intriga lang po ba yung lumabas na balita?
Tingnan kasama ako doon sa sa mga caricature di ba? Sa 11 na stop impeachment. They have already said, kasama tayo doon na isa kami sa mga 11 para lang ma-retain yung leadership. But as I mentioned, we are nasa constitution yan And we cannot it's a sworn duty to uphold the constitution.
So sir, habang tumatagal, parang nandun ba yung may mga grupo na nandun yung pang-pressure? Parang mahirap ba yung sitwasyon ninyo dahil ang daming public opinion, may mga nagrarally na rin. So ano yun, parang...
As I mentioned, kahit ano sabihin nyo na legal, but it's more politically charged. So, of course, we are tao din tayo, we are sensitive to the public opinion, to everything. Kaya as much as possible, we do not want to say anything anymore about it, Kasi when it convince, magkakaroon kami, pag may nasabi ako ngayon,
magagamitin against.
Magiging tainted na ako doon. Baka maano pa ako. Sabihin, mag-inhibit pa, di ba? I will, mababawasan pa ng isang, hurado. So, that's why I wouldn't want to comment anymore ng constipation. I guess I have already said my piece.
How about sa Senate leadership? Ilan na po ba yung nangliligaw para hingin ang inyong suporta, sir?
Natural naman po yan na in a new Congress, talagang unfortunately panay kapartido pa mga I am torn in between, I serve under Senator Soto also. Malaki pong utang na loob ko sa kay Senate President Soto also because it was during his Senate presidency that I was able to pass 2 landmark legislations. Yan po Universal Healthcare Law and the creation ng Department of Human Settlements. Siya po nag-push talaga sa akin nun. And I owe that much to him. Pinagkakatiwalaan din niya ako nun. Parang wala pang deputy majority, but I was also always more often presiding or helping in the deliberations on the floor. Kay Senator Zubiri naman, di ba? I became deputy majority leader, but now kay Senator Cheese, now a Senate President, he asked me to be deputy majority leader again, and I'm part of the leadership right now, And I would say that not to defend or to praise him, but I think the Senate was able to pass a lot of priority measures. Medyo marami ring accomplishments under the leadership of Senate President Cheese. So it's a difficult choice, Pareho kung naging kapartido, NPC po kami pareho. So, but we'll see. Hindi naman ako pwedeng I told na siguro kung sakali may manliligaw sa akin, I'll be the last na lang siguro because I'm part of the leadership of the Senate.
So, you are torn between Senate President Cheese and former Senate President Tito Soto.
Oo nga Siguro para hindi ako mator, tatakbo na rin ako Senate President. Para hindi na ako mag-isip. Tatakbo rin ako para wala na akong papaligan.
How about Senator Amy Marcos? Hindi hinihingi pa ang suporta niyo, sir?
Hindi naman siya nagsabi sa akin. Kabiro ako yun. Matagal ko na rin kaibigan yan.
Pero sa bandang huli, ano yung mga i-consider mo sa pagde-decide mo? Sino yung susuportahan?
Well, of course, first and foremost, who will be better and good for the institution. We have so many challenges, we have so many problems, ang daming problema ng bansa. We are in challenging times, challenge talaga. So I guess I will have to choose a leader who will be able to steer the Senate during these turbulent, challenging times.
Okay, okay, si Mark muna and then si Maki.
Yes, about the Senate presidency pa rin, Senator. Since sa NPC, has the party leadership told the members in the Senate to toe the line, to step in na para wala na po yung ganitong difficult choice between 2 NPC members? And my second question is, has SP Cheese ever offered the majority leader post to you as to get your support?
Siguro doon po sa partido, mahirap kasi pareho kapartido namin, former Senate President Soto is NPC. Si Senate President Cheese is also NPC. Senator Loren is also NPC. Halos lahat kami dito, marami kaming NPC sa there's no instruction from the party. Kasi nga parehong kapartido Siguro kung isa lang, madali. So, probably mahirap din para sa partido mag-decide on who to support.
Pero sir, better daw ba na lawyer ang Senate President kapag nagkaroon ng impeachment?
Hindi naman requirement, but I think preferably kasi it's not ordinary parliamentary procedures. This is a court, more of court proceedings, yung mga rulings. So, mas may advantage.